Alright, what's going on, guys? Dan here, bringing you guys another video today. This week we're going to be covering the 2020, even though it says 2021 Masters on the screen right now. This is actually the 2020 Masters. I am so excited for this. Major time is always big in golf, especially just because it's always a lot of the big names that play. It's usually one of the bigger names that wins too. So that's what we're going to be going over today. We're going to be going over the Masters. I'm going to show you guys the model I made, along with all of these starred players are the ones that I am looking at more than others. It's not like going to be my entire player pool because I think I only have 19 people starred, so it's not going to be my entire player pool. I might mix in a couple other people, but this is going to be the main group of people that my lineups are focused around this week. So, as you guys can tell, I focus on off the tee approach and around the green and birdies are better gained for the most part. Threw in putting and DK points just because putting on bent grass here is definitely going to help, and DK points, obviously you want those people that can score a lot of DK points. I did 24 rounds on this page, and then I have another page where it's the last 50 rounds because you want to look at like guys that what they are like coming in doing, and then what guys have done over the last however many months. So let's go ahead and start off with Justin Thomas. He's 10,700 on DK this week. I don't know how much of JT I'm going to have exactly. He's going to be one of the lower owned ones up here in this 10K plus range. I picture everybody else probably having more ownership than him. But the only thing that like kind of downside to him is his putting. We can go ahead and bring up his page here on Fantasy National. This is the website that I use for all of my golf stats and everything that I look at. We can go ahead and see down here, if I type in Masters, we can see he has a 39th, a 22nd, a 17th, and a 12th. So he has definitely been improving each time he's played the Masters, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to play him this week. I might, like I said, I'm going to throw him in a few lineups probably just to see, because there's always that chance that he could win. Because, I mean, he has been improving each year. He's probably going to definitely get like a top 10 here. But at his price tag at, I said it was 10,700, you're going to need maybe like a top 5 or even top 3 for him to pay off that price tag. John Rahm is going to be probably one of the higher owned ones for me in this range. A lot of people are talking about him, but it's obviously good reason. He has been coming in great form lately. You can see bent grass is not his best surface, but at least he's gaining strokes on it. If we go down here, he has a 2nd at the Zozo, a 17th at CJ 23rd US Open, 4th Tour Championship, 1st BMW. So obviously he definitely has the win equity is there for him. If we type in Masters for him, a 27th, and then the last 2 years he has a 4th and a 9th. So he's definitely there. He can definitely go ahead and win this one if he really wants to. I can picture him winning it. Obviously, that's why I want to play him this week. Up next is Rory. Rory is somebody that I was looking into a lot this week. He hasn't really been that great since the restart, but I mean, it's Rory. Like, he can come out and win anytime. Obviously, you could see, like, since the restart, back at Charles Schwab, 32nd, 41st, 11th, 32nd, 47th, 33rd. So, like, obviously no really finishings that stand out a lot right there in that range. But a 12th at the BMW, 8th at the Tour Championship, 8th at the US Open. Those are the kind of finishes that we're used to seeing from Rory. If we type in Masters, you can see he has a lot of history here. These are the kind of people that you want to look at. You want to look at guys that have a lot of history here that have played it a lot. He has a 20th, a missed cut, a 15th, a 40th, 25th, 8th, 4th, 10th, 7th, 5th, and last year he finished 21st at it. A little bit of a down year for him last year at that 21st finish, but I really think that Rory has a chance to win it this week. And then finishing off in his 10K range, we have DJ. He's going to be probably the highest owned golfer on the entire slate, with his price only being at 10K and the win equity that he has. I say win equity because he has, I think, 2 or 3 wins in the last, 5 tournaments he's played, I think it was. Yeah, Northern Trust, he finished first. BMW was second, Tour Championship first, sixth at the U.S. Open, second at Houston Open, first at Travelers, second at the PGA. Like, he's the greatest golfer right now. He is definitely the greatest golfer in the world right now. I will be playing a lot of DJ. I'll freaking play the chalk this week with him. I really don't care. I know one of the trends that we were looking at in the Simplified DFS chat. Make sure you guys go sign up there so you guys can get my full cheat sheet with my players that I'm going to talk about, and also you guys can obviously ask me any questions you guys want there too. In the chat though, we were talking about one of the trends being the number one golfer like hasn't won in like the last 10 times, like 9 out of 10 times or something like that's tournament has been played. I really don't care. I'm playing DJ this week. That's plain and simple. I'm playing DJ. Up next, we got Xander Schauffele. So the way I'm going to build my lineups is I'm going to take one of these 10K plus guys, maybe two of them. But if those lineups I don't take two of these 10 plus guys, I'm going to go and do like a 10 plus one of these guys in the 9K range. As you can see, I only got, I think, three of them. Yeah, I only got three of them starred. That's Xander, Brooks, and Reed. Xander is the obvious one. Like, he is definitely a great golfer over the last few weeks. Or few tournaments, I guess I should say, that he's played. We can see bent grass is definitely a good surface that he likes. You can see a 17th at the Zoizo, 2nd CJ, 5th U.S. Open, 2nd at Tour Championship. Obviously, he has what it takes to win. He can definitely contend here, but he's just not somebody that I'm like going to be forcing into my lineups. I feel like he will be a little bit higher owned, but I'll probably lean more towards the other two in this 9K range I'm going to talk about next. And the first one is Brooks Koepka. A lot of people are still going to be off of him, I think, even after his finish last week at the Houston Open. His knee is always going to be an issue. He has come out and said that like sometimes he wakes up and he can barely walk. Sometimes he wakes up and he is perfectly fine. So that's going to be one thing that scares a lot of people off Brooks Koepka, I think. But I am more than happy to go back to him and play him this week. He finished with a 5th at the Houston Open last week and then a 28th at the CJ Cup last month. You can see from his stats with the Masters, he is definitely somebody that can win. The 33rd, 21st, 11th, and 2nd in his last 4 years that he's played there. One thing that was kind of a thing with Brooks last year was he showed up for the majors. And then he he would still play at other tournaments, but he definitely showed up big for majors. So that's one thing I am going to focus on still. I feel like that is still a thing with him. And that's the main reason why I'm going back to him. Like you see, the Open 4th, Tour Championship 3rd, U.S. Open 2nd, PGA Championship 1st, Masters 2nd. Like, he shows up for these majors. So that's one thing I'm going to focus on with Brooks this week. The need, like, obviously it does scare me, but I feel like he's going to come out and still try his best to win this tournament this weekend. And then last one in this 9K range is Patrick Reed. I feel like he has been talked up a lot lately, so that's kind of disappointing to me. I was hoping he wasn't going to, but I feel like he has been. Patrick Reed is somebody that I really like for the tougher fields, for the tougher courses. So this course obviously isn't going to play tough, but it's the feeling of it, it's still going to be the feeling of the Masters. So you can see U.S. Open, he plays 13th, Tour Championship 8th, PGA Championship 13th. So he is definitely one of those guys that also shows up big for majors. If you look at his Masters, a missed cut, 22nd, 49th missed cut, he hasn't won it, and he finished 36th last year. Can he come out and win it this year? I feel like he can. I don't really think he's going to miss the cut, obviously. I feel like he's going to come out and he's going to play really well this weekend. I am hoping that he maybe goes a little bit under the radar than I think he is right now, but I don't think that's going to be the case with Patrick Reed this week. Up next, I forgot to mark Bubba Watson. Bubba Watson is definitely going to be somebody I play a lot of this week. He's going to be high owned as well. This is a quote-unquote Bubba track. Obviously the putting is not good on that grass, but if we go down here and we look at Masters, you'll see why it's a Bubba track. He has won it twice. So he is definitely something that I'm going to be playing a lot of this week. 20th, 42nd, 38th, 1st, 50th, 1st, 38th, 37th. Missed the cut in 2017, 5th in 2018, and then 12th last year. Bubba is definitely going to be somebody I play a lot of this week. He is playing really well lately. 7th at the CJ Cup and a 4th at the Zoizo. He hasn't played since the Zoizo, so that's a little bit unsettling with me. I would have rather him played last week at the Houston Open maybe, but I still am going to play a lot of Bubba this week for sure. Next, we have these two right here, Tony Finau and Hideki Matsuyama. I'm just going to group these two together because they're both people that if you guys are members of the website, you guys know that I don't play these guys all that often. I don't really tout them all that often. Decky is going to be high owned, especially after his performance last week. I am going to take advantage of that a little bit maybe and go underweight on Decky. He could definitely win, but the thing with me is he never contends really, and the only time he did contend was last week, and you could see here he gained 4.5 strokes putting. He never does this. He never gains 4.5 strokes putting. You can see all these right here. He never gains like close to 5 strokes putting ever. He's usually losing. And for him to gain that many strokes on putting and still do good everywhere else and he didn't even win yet, like that's definitely not something I want to do. Definitely not something I want to deal with. So Decky is going to be something I'm underweight on for sure. Like I'm obviously play him if you guys want. Like he is coming in good form. He has the stats to back it up and everything. But I'm just not going to be as high on him as everybody else. And Tony Finau, he's obviously going to be the chalk. Like him, I feel like everybody's going to start in lineups for Dustin and Tony Finau this week. I personally will not be doing that. Like I said, this 8K range is going to be one that I don't really have a whole lot of exposure to because of the way I said I'm going to build my lineups. So take that for what it's worth. You can see obviously his recent performances they speak for themselves pretty much. But Finau is just somebody I'm not going to get to a lot of, I think, just because, like I said, I want to start with two guys in this 10K range or 1 in 10 and 1 in the 9. That's how I'm going to start my lineups this week. The main one I'm going to get to a lot of in this 8K range is going to be Jason Day. I feel like a lot of people are still going to be scared of him, especially with the whole withdrawal risk and everything. But the thing is, with Jason Day, I want to play him so bad this week. A 7th at the Houston Open last week. That's like one of the main reasons why I want to play him this week. But you can see here, 4th at the PGA, 6th at St. Jude, 4th at the Memorial, 7th at the Workday. Like he was on a stretch right here where he was just balling out. And then he went on the stretch right here where he missed cut 64th, 38th, missed cut 60th. But the main thing with Jason Day is his 8,400 price tag. He should be up here in like this 9K range for sure, in my opinion. With the kind of player that Jason Day is, he could definitely easily come out here and win this. And a lot of people aren't going to be on him, I think, in this 8K range. They're going to be scared of the whole withdrawal risk with him. They probably see how many times he has withdrawed. But if you look at his Masters performances, you can see here a 2nd, a 3rd, a 20th, 28th, 10th, 22nd, 20th, and 5th. Like, if he can still finish in this, like, top 10, top 15 at 8,400, I'm perfectly okay with that because his DK scoring is going to be easily higher than that probably as well. He's a great ball striker. And I love playing Jason Day this week. Let's look at his 50 rounds. Yeah, obviously the stats aren't going to prove anything, but I love Jason Day this week for sure. Up next, we're going to dip into the 7K range. You can see I have about 4 or 5 guys down here. Louis is going to be somebody that I go to probably the most if I need something at this 7,900 price tag. I'm not going to dip below to like Scotty Scheffler or Matthew Fitzpatrick. If I have $7,900 left, Louis is going to be the guy that I play. Louis has been somebody that always shows up in majors, never misses a cut of these things, and I don't think he's going to be that high end because not a lot of people know his name. But if you look at his Masters performances over the years, you can see he missed the cut the first 3 years, but he came out, did second, missed the cut the year after that, but then he's made the cut every year since 2014 with a 25th, 19th, 15th, 41st, 12th, and 29th. So as long as we don't get another one of these like 41st finishes out of Louis this week, I'm perfectly okay with whatever kind of finish he gets with these other ones, like 29th, 12th. Like if he can get like a top 20 this week, that's perfectly okay with me. Getting 6 of 6 through this week is going to be the biggest thing you guys want. You guys want people that will make the cut. That's why I'm limiting my player pool right here a lot, because I want guys that will make the cut. Scotty Scheffler is going to be the next one I talk about. I'm not going to be that high on him. The people that play here for the first time, they don't really do that great, and this is going to be Scotty's first time playing here, and I just don't really want to play him that much, given that fact. Could he easily come out here and do good? Yes, obviously, he's Scotty Scheffler. He didn't do great last week at the Houston Open, so that's another reason why I'm not really that high on him. I don't know if there's maybe something different going on with him right now, but he isn't the same Scotty Scheffler that we were seeing before. So I'm tempering my expectations with Scotty Scheffler. Fitzpatrick is mainly just a putting play for me. He putts very well, but I'm not going to play a lot of him. He's just the great putter. He gains almost a stroke per round on putting, so there is that with Fitzpatrick. Shane Lowry is somebody that played well at the Houston Open last week that I don't really think a lot of people are on right now this week. So that's going to be something I try to take advantage of. He's another guy that putts well on bent grass. Finished 11th at Houston Open last week, 28th at the CJ Cup last time he played before that. So definitely somebody that I want to play this week. As you can see, his Masters record is not good. 3 out of the 4 times he's played here, he missed the cut. But I feel like he might be able to make the cut this year. That's going to be something that I'm going to look into a little bit more with Shane Lowry, is if he's going to be able to make the cut here this week. But I do like Shane Lowry a little bit. Next one in this 7K range is Lee Westwood. Last week, I would have had such a better week if Lee Westwood would have just made the cut. I was stressing out so bad last week. I know he needed to make 3 birdies on the back 9 last week, and he didn't. He made 1. He only made 1 birdie on the back 9, so that kind of has me a little sour on him right now. But I mean, you can see here he has a miscut at the PGA Championship and a 4th at the Open, 22nd at WGC Mexico, 4th at the Honda, missed the cut at the API, 13th at the US Open, and then like I said, I think he was maybe 1 or 2 off of the cut at the Houston Open. But if we look at his Masters performances, you can see he has made the cut pretty much every year that he has played since 2007, and he has a lot of higher finishes. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 top 10s in that time span as well, with 2 seconds and a third. Definitely somebody I'm going to look at this week is Lee Westwood. And last guy in the 7K range is Jason Kokrak. He is going to be somebody that is a debutante, is what they say, I think. This is going to be his first year playing the Masters, but he's coming off a win last time we saw, well, not the last time we saw him, but he has that win at CJ Cup, at 17th at the Zoizo, 17th at the US Open, 6th at the BMW. I like Kokrak, don't get me wrong, but the only thing that scares me is the fact that this is his first time playing here. One thing that could benefit him is the no fans, and then with this playing in a different time of year, that might be able to help him a little bit. But a lot of the guys that are being playing here for the first time are newer golfers. Kokrak is by far he's furthest thing from a new golfer. You can see we have the data for him goes all the way back to 2011. So I obviously I'm going to play him this week. He's not going to be one of those guys I'm scared to play because it's his first time playing, because he has been around for a while. And then in the 6K range, I don't really have a whole lot of people down here. I'm going to be focusing on 3 or 4 of them down here the entire weekend probably. Those 3 people are going to be Francesco Molinari, Sebastian Munoz, and Corey Connors. Sebastian Munoz is going to be the only one I think that has not played the Masters between these 3. I don't think he has played it yet. No, he hasn't. But the stats back him up big time. He has an 8th at BMW, 8th at the Tour Championship, 59th US Open, 23rd at the Sanderson Farms, 27th at the Shriners, 9th CJ, 14th at the Zoizo. He's definitely somebody that could definitely make the cut at least. Like, that's all you really need out of Munoz at this price. He has upside. Obviously, you can see 14th and 9th and 8th and 8th. He definitely has the upside to get that, like, top 15, top 10 finish. But if you could just make the cut and then get, like, a top 25, maybe even top 30 finish, I'd be perfectly okay with that with Munoz. Francesco Molinari, he has not been good since he came back. He showed a lot of life last week, though. Last week he placed 15th at the Houston Open, and then he missed the cut at the Shriners. Those are the only 2 times that he's played since the restart, which is definitely scary. Even before the restart, he had a 53rd at the WGC Mexico, missed the cut at Genesis, missed the cut at Farmers, missed the cut at American Express. So obviously that's something that you want to, like, that's something that is, like, probably going to stick in your head a little bit. But if we look at his Masters, you can see that he has a 30th, a missed cut, 19th, missed cut, 50th, 33rd, 20th, and 5th. I'm playing Molinari this week. A lot of people are going to be scared to play him just because of the fact that he has only played twice since the restart, but I'm still going to play him for sure this week. I just have a feeling with Molinari this week. And then the last one is Corey Connors. You guys know my obsession with Corey Connors. He is easily my favorite value play every week. His ball striking is what gets me with him. And then as long as he can putt decently, then I'm perfectly okay with it. Like last week, he only lost 0.2 strokes putting. I'm perfectly okay with that. It's always he gained strokes putting. That's why I was all over him at the Houston Open. Finished 24th with his price was up there a little bit, so that was a little disappointing. But at his price tag this week at only $6,600, make the cut, please. Keep a steady putter. Like, don't be losing 7 strokes, 4 strokes putting. You can even see, though, here, he lost close to 8 strokes putting. He gained 8 strokes tee to green still and finished 33rd. Like, he can lose strokes putting. That's fine. Because his ball striking is going to make up for it, and he's still going to place well. Like, a 33rd finish at 6,600 this week would be perfectly okay with me. He has the upside. He has played here before. Let's look at his results. Missed cut in a 46. So if he makes a cut and he improves again this year on his finishes, that is perfectly okay with me with Corey Connors. I'll be playing him probably a lot this week. So, and then that's it for this 6K range, and that's it. That's all the people I'm going to talk about this week. Actually, there's one more that I just saw. Justin Harding is going to be somebody that I'd throw in there as well. He is somebody that I think he played here once, and he played extremely well. Yeah, he only played here once, and that was last year, and he finished 12th. So for him to come out and play one time and place that well, he's coming out the 38th finish at the Houston Open. So as long as he makes the cut with me, that's fine with me. You can see he has played majors, PGA Championship, U.S. Open, the U.S. Open there. He missed the cut at the U.S. Open, but he's missed the cut both times he's played the U.S. Open, it looks like. But I'm definitely going to be playing him a little bit this week just because of that first time he played here, he finished 12th, so he probably has some good vibes going into here. All right, guys, that's it for me this week. Enjoy this week. Be sure to go in the description, go to 75dfs.com, use my code Dan's Dosage, get a nice little discount there. We did extremely well last week, and I'm hoping that we can keep it up this week with the Masters, and I will talk to you guys later.